money became my identity. It also was a confirmation of the biggest lie that I believed in, which was money would buy me love and happiness.
Do you fall into the money trap, believing that money can buy us everything? Love, happiness, prestige, and our own sense of value and worthiness. David Meltzer needs no introduction. He is a legendary sports executive and the previous CEO of a renowned entertainment agency, which was the inspiration for the movie Jerry Maguire. He is an entrepreneur, business coach, and keynote speaker. Please listen as David shares his inner transformational journey and the significant lessons he learned. David is now on a mission to empower 1 billion people. Today, we have David Meltzer. I'm going to just introduce him by what he does. We will get to who he is after that. David Meltzer is a renowned entrepreneur. He's an investor. He's a business coach. He's a best-selling author and a very respected keynote speaker. And he has the biggest heart of anyone I've met. And we're going to hear all about that today. How are you, David?
Fantastic. And that'd be an understatement, especially as I came on here. When I meet people that have an elevated light and energy that I feel the minute before a word is spoken, I know I'm in the right place at the right time. And it's just nice to be around someone like you that brings the best out of people because of her energy. And the emotional aftertaste of this podcast, I will relish all day long as I have so much activity today. Like I said, you have made my day.
Well, we can finish the podcast right here. David, now that I've told people what you do, I always start with, tell us a little bit about how you got to where you are today and what was the aha moment when you decided that you were going to create change in the world or your corner of the world, which is a very big corner, I might add.
Well, I am on a mission to empower over 1 billion people to be happy. And to get to that point, that big thought that I have, and to feel confident with faith that with the help of others like you, that I can empower 1,000 people like you to empower 1,000 people, to empower 1,000 people to live in abundance, to be happy. It started in a world of scarcity and love. And they're not mutually exclusive, although some people may try to articulate that. I grew up with an amazing mom and amazing siblings and an amazing family full of love, but with not enough money, with not enough food, with not enough rooms in my house, with not enough bathrooms in my house, particularly, to be honest. And so because of the scarce mentality, that I was confused about the importance and prioritization of the love that I grew up with. And I felt as if I could just make money, that I could resolve the only thing that was missing in my fulfilled, passionate, and purposeful life that I had been born into with these extraordinary people that I called family. And so I set forth to be my best at making money, and with a little bit of Jewish guilt and waking up early, empowered by my mom and inspired to make a lot of money to provide my mom the security that she wanted for us. I made 9 months out of law school, $1 million, and I bought my mom a house and a car. And from that moment on, unfortunately, money became my identity. It also was a confirmation of the biggest lie that I believed in, which was money would buy me love and happiness, because it resolved my greatest insecurity. And I confused that resolution with love. And I continued to be successful. I made more money in 1995. We exited the first company I worked with, West Publishing, for $3.4 billion. I went up to the Silicon Valley and raised hundreds of millions of dollars. By the time I was 31 years old in 1999, I ran Samsung's phone division and was worth over $100 million, married to my dream girl, and started my own family, once again confirming that the resolution of happiness was a result of making money. And as those years transpired, I was in a world that I call a world of just enough. It was a positive world for me. A lot of people say everything happens for me. And I bought into the everything happens for me. In fact, I bought into a lot of things. I bought things I didn't need to impress people I didn't like. And I bought into happiness was bought by the money that I made, and that people liked me, and I was happy when I made more money. And if I didn't make more money, I was unhappy. And but for the four people who loved me the most, my mom, my dad, my best friend, and my wife, but for those four people telling me that I was lost, that I was going to end up dead, that they didn't want to see me end up where they thought I would end up, by telling me the truth. And even though my reaction to the truth of my mom, my dad, my best friend, and especially my wife telling me the truth was, I hate you. How dare you speak to me this way? Look around you. Who do you think did all of this? Despite that, I came to an awareness, thanks to my wife, on a very difficult time, when I came home after lying to her and telling her that I was somewhere that I wasn't. And she told me she was going to leave me. She told me to take stock in who I was and what I wanted to become, or else I was going to end up dead. And she was going to take my three girls that were all under 10 years old to save them and spare them watching my demise. And when I woke up the next morning, I remember on the edge of my bed telling myself, I hate my mom, I hate my dad, I hate my best friend, and I hate my wife. And I was going to take all the money from them because I was going to steal their happiness and joy by taking their money. And by the grace of God, I looked over in my closet, and there was a jacket that my father had given me 6 years earlier with no pockets for my 30th birthday. He had told me there was a reason that it had no pockets. It was to remind me I was just like him. He told me that money would never buy me love or happiness, and that if I continued on that journey, I would end up just like him. I remember calling him a liar, a cheater, a manipulator, an overseller, and a back-end seller, ending the conversation in, I hate you. And as I sat there on my bed, I looked over at that jacket and realized in that God moment that I didn't hate my dad. I certainly didn't hate my mom. I didn't hate my best friend. And I certainly didn't hate my wife. I hated myself, and I hated my life. And so that was the moment, the aha moment, that I took stock in who I was and what I wanted to become. And here I am, 7 years later, even though 2 years after I had my aha moment, I lost everything. I lost over $100 million, went bankrupt, but I live and I've made it all back. And I live in a mission, not just to make a lot of money, but to shop for the right things, for the right reasons, to help a lot of people. And of course, to be happy, to have a lot of fun. And so on this journey, I have TV shows and movies, and I write books, and I speak around the world, and I do free Friday trainings for 25 years, and meetups and hold court and VIP dinners and speeches and anything I can do to empower people to elevate their awareness to how beautiful the world of more than enough is, where you give more to be given more, to receive more, and to ask for more than more, and then give more than more, to be given more than more, to receive more than more, to ask for more than more than more. This life is not a zero-sum game. You don't give to receive. You live in an infinite loop of more than enough of everything for everyone. And that is why I am here. That is why I adore you and Craig and anyone else that understands how important it is to have the mindset, the heart set, and handset to live in the world of more than enough of everything for everyone.
Please don't go away. More to come. This episode is brought to you by Try Coaching. What are you committed to, and do these commitments serve or hinder you? Look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. As a 20-year executive business and communications coach, I've helped hundreds of clients reach their goals. If you are committed to your future, please reach out and let's start a conversation. Learn more about me at trycoaching.com. As I sit and listen to you, to my audience, how many of us have had that same scenario? Not quite as big, but it doesn't matter. Take everything away. It's the scenario of we all, I don't know anyone that hasn't placed a value on money and made it their God, so to speak. I can raise my hand for years because I didn't grow up with that. And that was my value on myself. So we place a value of $sign on ourselves, and that makes us valuable.
Worthy,
good enough, valuable, until we all realize at some point there's like a fork in the road where you take stock and say, wait a second, those that have and those that might not have, what am I doing? Who am I? Right? The others are just signs. They're just labels, as I call it, that we all put on ourselves. And those labels can be taken away. It's when we build core values, that's our foundation that you've talked about, that we can't, because those can't be taken away, right? They're ours.
Beautifully said. And I remember a moment when I lost everything. I went to my mom's house. Only reason I wanted to be rich in the first place was to provide for my mother, to buy her a house and a car. And I had lost everything, including my own home. And I walked over to tell my mom I had lost everything, but unfortunately I had lost her house as well because I didn't take my name off of her title. And I remember telling her that I felt punished. I remember telling her I didn't believe in God. And my mom responded, "Oh, sweetheart, you believe in God. You believe in the wrong God." And that was the lesson that I think all of us at any degree or measure, it doesn't matter whether your everything was $10,000 or your everything was $100 million. I tell anyone that it's an opportunity to elevate your awareness to all that we're given, to find the beautiful options and opportunities and touches of favor in our lives, to reprioritize a divine direction and utilize divine time to help us get to where we want to be or better. I am, not this is what I want people to think I am. And that energy gap will be a suck, and it is in social media and other places, that we need to dissolve, dissipate, and shorten that distance of resistance that's created between the difference of I am and this is what I want people to think I am.
So profoundly said. I heard you, and I don't, or it was somewhere that you were talking about, and I may have it a little wrong, about business. And you said the biggest game changer in business is being kind. Is that something like that? No, the word was gratitude, excuse me. Is that accurate?
Very accurate. Think about the power of perspective, and the power of perspective is derived from two different values. One being gratitude, the ability to find the light, the love, and the lessons in everything, but with combination of forgiveness. See, a lot of people live in gratitude, but they're incapable of forgiving themselves. And so they don't ask themselves, have I done this before myself? Or how can I forgive myself and others for doing this? And for me, it's amazing. 99% of the things that I have a need to be offended or that need to be right or angry or upset or anxious or frustrated with can be resolved immediately through gratitude of finding the light, the love, and the lessons in the person, place, thing, situation, or event, and forgiving myself by asking myself, have I ever cut somebody off? Have I ever made a mistake? Have I ever lied before? And it's amazing how quickly I can get back to abundant philosophies and strategies and kindness through gratitude and forgiveness by elevating my awareness that I too am human, and therefore I need to put other people into the same realm of judgment of being human, and forgiveness and gratitude will help accelerate where I want to be in that divine direction and divine time, instead of accelerating in the wrong direction, creating more distance between me and where I want to be, more interference between I am and this is where I want to be, or better.
But David, people cannot see this, but behind you is the fastest way to happiness is to make someone else happy. And I see a statue of Buddha. I'm a Buddhist at heart.
My shirt says ferocious Buddha. I'm a ferocious Buddha.
And here we are, making someone else happy. Even I think when we're not happy, right? When we're angry, when we're stressed, we can play the game of kick the can. And yet trying to put that aside, no matter what our feelings are, and focus on not letting that emotion get in the way of what's in front of us. So as you know, I'm looking at the time. We have a very short window. Tell us a little bit about that sign behind us and the Buddha and how they fit together as a wrap up.
Yeah, they fit together in my overall philosophy in life to live with gratitude, forgiveness, accountability, and inspiration by utilization of 5 daily practices to apply my why to my life. So you see, I used to live in a paradigm where I was going to go get happiness. I was going to go get health. I was going to get wealth. And what I realized was I am happy. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am worthy. What am I doing to interfere with it? And the fastest way to get to where I wanted to be was to either help someone get to where they want to be or ask someone that's already there for help. So in that context, it's a Buddhist philosophy of more than enough is I am, what am I doing to interfere with it? And where I think a lot of people, which is why I promote the brand Ferocious Buddha, is that when they think of being a Buddhist, they think about sitting at home on their mom's couch, high, sick, and broke, dreaming about what they want in a completely passive Buddhist state. Well, Buddhism only is an element of outcomes. So you see, human beings don't understand or know outcomes. And so we have to be Buddhist about outcomes, but ferocious about our intention. Ferocious about identifying the interference between us and an omniscient, all-powerful, all-knowing source that loves us more than our mom. And so I encourage people to enjoy the consistent every day in a ferocious manner, persistent without quit in a ferocious manner, pursuing in a ferocious manner their potential, their truth, and identifying with free will the reaction that they have to fear, the interference that they create between them and everything. And so be ferocious each day, paying attention plus giving intention by doing ferociously, by saying ferociously, by thinking ferociously, by believing ferociously and feeling ferociously. The coincidences, the consequences, results, and outcomes that you want or better which is being Buddhist, that although I don't understand or know how losing everything in my life could be considered a promotion, could be considered a protection, could be considered love, even though I couldn't understand it, I have faith, a Buddhist faith, that I live in a universe that protects, promotes me, and loves me more than my mom. And therefore, I detach myself from the outcome and put my energy into the behavior that's aligned with where I want to be or better. And I am blessed to be here and share together our words, our thoughts, our beliefs, and our feelings to hopefully empower others, to make a lot of money, to help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun.
How many of you from today forward are going to be voracious Buddhists and are going to make happiness part of your life? And not only happiness, but to make someone else happy. David, you have made me so happy today by having you on my show.
Well, I'd like to offer your whole community. I'd love to send, I will pay for my book. I'll pay for shipping. I will send anyone in your community that emails me. David@dmeltzer.com is my email. Put it in the notes, David@dmeltzer.com. I will sign a book. I will send it to you. I'll pay for shipping in the book if you email me. I appreciate the opportunity to share our journey, our dummy tax, and our wisdom, but most importantly, our love for humanity. Thank you so much for allowing me to do this.
David, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Take care.
I hope this compelling and extraordinary conversation offered you thoughts on how you can create changes in your own life. Reviews encourage people to listen to my podcasts. If you loved what you heard, please go to Apple Podcasts and leave a rating and review. For related content on extraordinary work, please visit my website, trycoaching.com. My next guest is Renee V., a speech language pathologist who, for many years, worked in the public school system and saw firsthand how the educational system was not effectively preparing kids for life outside of school with real life skill knowledge. With this in mind, Renee founded Mighty Minds Academy, a powerful online educational curriculum. Don't miss this in-depth and informative conversation.